All right, and it's some 37 minutes after 8. Time now for My Banner. And today we're looking at some of the things that you can clear off the way before you settle down. You know, sometimes we think that we are ready for the big M, marriage, but really we may not be. So that's what we're looking at this morning. And I'm going to open the phone lines. You can share with us your experiences via phone as well. But please do not call yet. You do so when I do open the phone lines. And Nana Ususetre is joining me for us to discuss this issue. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mama V.
Have you cleared the things that you think you can get rid of, which is maybe hindering you before settling down? Have you?
Well, you put me on the spot, but I answered that question after we leave the studios. But just for the purposes of this topic and this program, I think it will be very difficult for one to say that you need to clear some things off. What I would rather say is you need to manage them. Because then, if you're going to clear, are you saying that you're going to make sure that you will never see them again? And sometimes it's quite difficult to actually say that I am not going to see this again, because you see, as dynamic as the world is, if even you try to take them out of your system, it will reoccur in a different way. So it's very, very, very important for us to understand that we have to manage the things that are before us before we get married. Let me give you an example, okay? We make the case that once I'm about to get married, okay, all girlfriends cease to be close to me.
Okay, so that's for a guy.
That's for a guy, okay? And for a woman, of course, all other ex-boyfriends or other, friends who are males and you used to date them also cease. Now, the difficulty is, here you are, yes, you freeze them up. Now, you get married. Now, you're looking for a job. This is the same boyfriend that you froze just because you thought, I need to put him where he belongs before I get married. Then you meet him as a manager who is supposed to interview you. What do you do? What do you do? So it's a very, very, very interesting situation that one finds himself. So what I'm saying is, you need to manage those things. You can't get them off the table. You cannot do that.
Are you saying you cannot kick ex-boyfriends out of the picture? Mama, I mean, just because you may need them someday.
You see, when we say kick them off, it's even relative. I mean,
so what? You still keep them as friends?
Sure, that's what I'm saying. You keep them as friends and manage the situation that, of course, will not escalate into another relationship because you've already dealt with them or you've already had a past relationship with them. So it's all about managing yourself. You see, one thing about relationships or even marriage, it's all about management. All about management, Mama V. So it's not a case for you to, stand shoulders high and say that because I am no more with you, friendship and every other thing ceases just because I want to go and get married. I hope you see the picture I'm painting. So it's very important for us not to think that we need to freeze everything, clear everything on our table before we get married. You can manage them. In fact, you have to manage them. That is the word to use.
So what if you're a young lady and you have so many girlfriends? Is it advisable to still keep all those friends?
Why not? Because then you will need them to help you one day. You will need them.
By keeping all those close pals, I mean, you're still doing the things that you used to do together. You're hanging out, you're doing stuff. You can't do that when you're finally married. There are certain things that you have to cut off.
That's true.
Whether you like it or yes.
So in management, you become selective of what you do because of the new position you have assumed. Do you understand? So here you are, before marriage or just before you're about to get married, you have friends, you hang around, you drink, you smoke with them. You need to actually take those ones that are good. Okay, that is management. Okay, you are managing your new life. That is after you become married. You are going to manage it. So you need good people around you. You can't say that I'm going to do away with all of them because we all used to smoke, we all used to drink, or we all used to do bad stuff. You take the good ones out. And then those ones that, of course, are not good, you keep them at bay.
The fear also is that if you still keep all these people around you, they might influence you into doing something that you want to stop doing.
Then it means you are not a good manager of yourself. Because a good manager of yourself...
Not everybody is a good manager.
Yes, that's why you have to learn. You have to learn. In fact, listening to this program should even educate you to realize that in as much as you will be getting married and you have bad friends and good friends around you, you need to choose the good ones. You can't choose all of them. And of course, the bad ones, you keep them at bay. Keeping them at bay does not mean that you are not going to speak to them. Because you know something, there is good in every person. Even as bad as they are, you will still need them one day to play a role for you. Do you know sometimes there are some things you want to do as a good person and you know it's a bad thing. And you will not do it. You go for the bad friend who you know can do it just for her to do it to make you happy. So these are some of the challenges that you have to look at. It's a dynamic world.
So are we saying that in preparing your mind and yourself for marriage, you don't have to clear anything, you don't have to stop doing anything, you don't have to cut anybody off?
It is true. Whatever is bad before marriage, you have to let it go. And letting it go, we are not saying that that's cast in stone. Okay? Let me give you some of the things. Let me make it even much clearer so that we understand what we're saying. Things like adultery, that you have to let it go without bringing it back.
But the fear is if you're keeping the friends that you still hang around with, that you go chasing girls with.
Yeah.
If you still have those friends and you're hanging out, I mean, it's a Friday after work, you're going to a pub, you're hanging out with different types of girls, and you're still doing that even when you're married, then nothing will change.
You see, when you are able to learn the art of management, and when I keep on using the word management, you see, management is meant for you to improve, or is meant for you to look better. Okay? It is for you to choose the ingredients that you need to make yourself better, or to look good, or to build a healthy relationship or marriage. So, in so doing, I don't think if you're a rational human being, you say that this select group of friends, all of them are not good. So for that matter, I'm not going to deal with all of them. There is always, or there will always be one or two that are good, that you need them. So in as much as there are a circle of friends that you go Friday night, you party, you do all those things, I'm sure that you still need them for A, B, C, D. You see, in management, you can decide that I'm not having a Friday outing anymore. Do you see what I'm saying? So by that in itself, you've not actually cleared them off your friendship list. But what you've done is you've managed yourself, and in fact, managed your time not to be going out Fridays and hanging around with them. Because there is something good in every person, even a bad person. But I know that there are some core things that, of course, you have to get off your table.
Okay, such as?
Like adultery, okay? Chasing other people's husbands, chasing other people's wives. Those are the things that, come in mind very, very, very easily. But most of the time, you don't have a lot to clear. You just need to manage the things before you get married. Yeah. There's not a lot, apart from just adultery, and I think that's all. Most things you just have to manage.
Sometimes the other fear is for a lot of people is if you're single, in your single days you had some female friends around you, or even friends in general, and you're married now, or you're getting into marriage, you cannot seek advice from those same friends because now your situation is different. They probably have not experienced what you are experiencing.
But you can seek help from them.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you go to friends who are not married to seek advice, marriage advice from them?
Let me say something. I think I've said this on one or two networks. Experience does not necessarily mean that you have to get married to have that experience, because people can have experience through reading or through actually watching people.
Yeah, but when you are in the soup, it's different.
Yeah.
It's different. It's different. It's a different, totally different.
It's a totally
you can stand from somewhere and think.
Do you know my problem about this? You have to be in a marriage situation to be able to have an experience, to be able to give someone guidance. My only problem with that is people usually give their experiences as the way forward to people. And if you don't take time, you might create problems for this person who is actually seeking good counsel from you. Because if your situation is A, and you are thinking A is the best, for you know, for that person, A is not the best for him or her. So I do have a problem when married people sort of paint the picture that we know it all. So come to us for guidance. I'd rather you paint yourself as someone who has the information, be you married or not. Because the person coming to you is looking for proper information. The person is not looking for an example of your relationship or an example of your marriage.
But my point is, if you're going to your single friends to seek advice from them, when you're faced with a marital issue, I mean, I see something wrong there.
Yeah, there's a hierarchy of doing things. You just don't go to your single female friends for advice. Of course, you speak to counselors, you speak to people who, of course, have the experience like you. And, of course, if you realize that you are not getting enough, you can also consult them. Because some of them, in as much as they are not married, they can give you some valuable information that even married people cannot give you, simply because they've experienced it either through a conversation, either reading, or either hearing. So there's a hierarchy of doing things. Yes, you speak to the counselor, you speak to married people who have got experience. Then don't ever forget that that friend that is not married could be of help.
Okay. Let me activate the phone lines now. 0302-211-691 and 2 is 0302-211-691 and 2. You can give us a call, and I'm always interested in personal experiences because they help a lot. They do. So let us know if you're married, the sort of things that you had to let go, before settling down in that marriage. If you're preparing or planning to marry, which I know may be part of somebody's resolution this year, tell me the things that you want to let go that seem difficult, and then let's see how best we can put our heads together and help you out. So give us a call on 0302-211-691 or 2. The phone lines are activated right now. Okay, so we're saying that keep the friends, but should you always run to them when you have issues in your marriage?
No. But then, always remember that they can provide some information that are so crucial that even counselors and even experienced married people don't have. I always believe that, the truth, or if I should say the right direction is not in one person's head. As I even sit here, I'm speaking. I can't, cloud myself as a supreme all, okay? Simply because someone might have an information, not necessarily better than mine, but will complement what I do have.
Okay. Let me go to Borga now. Sumani, good morning to you. Hello, Sumani.
Oh, we've lost him.
All right, so it's you that we lost. Call back. The lines are activated just for you. Meanwhile, I'll speak to Della now. Della, good morning. Are you married?
I'm not married.
Okay, but you're planning to.
I'm not married. Still hanging with some
all right.
ladies who are not serious. So.
Okay, so just go ahead and share with us your thoughts.
I've been listening to you, and there's this point that you made. I also have friends that maybe once a while we hang out. Then sometimes when you tell them of your intentions that you want to settle down, then they go like, can you get married? Because maybe they know that you are flirting with other ladies, So I believe that it's a difficult decision to take. And when it gets to that time, you have to be bold enough to sideline some friends and some attitude and change so that at least you can have the best of marriage that you want.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to say.
Okay, Della. We wish you all the best. You're not planning yet, but when you start planning, let us know. I am personally interested.
Yeah.
I'll go to Suleimana now. Hello, good morning, Suleimana. Hello, Suleimana. Hello, good morning. Oh, I cannot hear you. Please do call back. Do call back. Our lines are open, 0302-211-691 or 2. Give us a call from wherever, every corner of this country, and even beyond. Let us know what your thoughts are on this particular issue. Okay, So the point is, if you have issues, and I'll ask you this after I speak to Mohammed, who is joining us from Tamale. Mohammed, good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Yes, sir. What are your thoughts on what we are discussing?
You see, my problem is that I am preparing to marry after my tertiary education. I've just completed 3 months last year, and I'm preparing to marry. Unfortunately, you see, I'm a Muslim, very glad Christian lady, but my parents are not allowing me. So, yes, in fact, it's unfortunate. How will I do?
What do you think? What are you thinking? Because, you know, in the end, you have to think about the positives and the negatives. And I say, don't rule out what anybody says. Why don't you write or, you know, find yourself a piece of paper, write all the things, the reasons they are saying no, and the reasons you are saying yes. And, you know, try and cross the lines and see.
You see, there are reasons to just focus on the religion. And me, and there is a lot of reasons I consider, and I want to marry her. And so since my classmates, we have been together from year 1 up to final year. I know her very well. I know she's humble. So me, I'm not considering the religion as a factor, but my parents are considering the religion as a factor.
And I sort of I do understand them, because religion is such a big deal, you know, for us. And you're probably thinking just the two of you, but remember that children will come in. Where would they go? Where would they belong? You know, all those things. So I would say get a counselor, get people who are experienced, and sit down with them, you know, and then think it through. It's such a big, huge decision. But we wish you all the best. We hope that you make the best decision. Anything you want to say?
Sure. I think you said it all. I mean, Mama V, all he needs is someone to give him direction. Like I've stated, there's a hierarchy of doing these things. You speak to a counselor or even someone who has got the experience before you go to your friends.
Okay.
You know.
I'll go to Tema now. Nee is joining us. Hello, good morning, Nee.
Yeah, good morning.
Okay, Nee, before you go ahead, please turn down the volume on your TV so that I can hear myself. Which is, you know, sometimes a good thing, but it's not very good to the ear. So turn down the volume on your TV sets, and then go ahead. Yes, it is better. Please share with us what you've got to say.
Yeah, I'm listening to what your counselor is saying. You know, I think he's speaking from the right direction. You don't cut people off, even in a professional life. No matter how crap or stupid the person is, you have to keep the person. So, you being married doesn't mean you are better off than your friends who are not married. Like he is saying, you might need them one day in life.
So how about the fear? How about the fear that they may influence you into doing something that is not necessarily right?
Using the word manage. Why they fear they will influence you? If you are being influenced by your peers, that means you are not strong and matured enough to be in marriage. Do you get it? If you are being influenced by your peers, then you are not matured enough to marry. You must know what you want, and you must go for what you believe in. By your friends, you keep them as friends. If you hang out with them Friday night for drinking, you probably might stop meeting them Friday night. Or if you meet them to like 12 midnight, now you cut it to maybe 8 or 7, because I have family to go home to meet. Because they are the same people you will need tomorrow.
Okay.
And then trust me, like what he was saying, single people can also give marriage advice. Catholic priests are not married, but are the best people to give advice.
Okay. All right,
because,
Nee.
like he was saying, they learn from different sources.
Sure.
People go to them with problems. They
All right.
read.
Yeah, I get you, Nee. And
as you are growing up, you learn from your parents as well.
all right, sure, Nee.
You grew up in a family.
Okay.
So you knew people around you who were married, and you witnessed certain things.
All right, Nee, I get your point, but because of time, I'll have to let you go. But very important points that you make there, and I will give you the final say.
Well, like I did say, we all do need some form of advice before we marry. And just to wrap it up, you need the right people to speak to. One, of course, speak to a counselor. Two, you can speak to those who have got experience actually in marriage. And once again, don't throw away your single friends, because some of them can provide very valuable information that you never thought they would provide.
Okay, and that will end this segment, My Banner on the AM show. I'm coming back right after with Roland Walker.